Hi there, and welcome to Thrive Online. My name is Jennifer Dixon, and today I'm going to talk to you about Malasana Squat. This is a deep, sometimes called Yogi Squat, that you'll find in different types of flow classes. It's a great hip opener. Actually, I like to call it the Great Southern Hemisphere stretch because you're going to feel a stretch in your ankles, in your knees, in your hips, basically anything below the belly button you are going to be working. And so keep that in mind. If you have really tight hips or quads even, or your ankles, if you've been running for a while, this could actually be a very challenging pose. So if you have one, grab a yoga block. But if you don't, that's okay too. We'll talk about different options for you, okay? So when you want to practice Malasana Squat, the goal is to have your feet wide, almost like mats with distance apart, and your bottom kind of right in between them. So I'll demonstrate it. Here are my feet. They're pretty wide, toes out, heels in. And if you can, you want to be able to have the mobility to go, say, from this standing position, very duck-footed out, to this very low squat position. But I understand that takes incredible mobility in everything here in the lower hemisphere, right? So another thing you can do, instead of coming from a standing position, is you can forward fold to get the weight off of your legs and off of your hips. Walk those feet out pretty far, bend the knees down as low as you can, and then sit here. Now, a couple of things to think about. If you are pregnant in the second trimester or beyond, always use a block underneath your tushy. That is because your body is so open right now making way for the baby that we don't want anything to get damaged, overstretched. Now, if you are kind of one of those very athletic people, very tight hip people, you might get here and get stuck. And that's totally okay. Here are some things that you can do to try to make the transition to a Malasana Squat a little bit easier. Take your feet even wider. Take your feet pretty wide. Make sure your knees are going in the direction of the toes, and then come down. And you'll, believe it or not, you'll find that it's a little bit easier to maybe come to a seat on this yoga block right here, right? So I've got it on the tall section right here. It's up as high as it'll go. Be careful, it can be a little bit wobbly, that's okay. Now, once this gets easier, you can start to shimmy those feet a little bit closer together, and then you're getting into those hips a little bit more. Now, if you can get all the way down here, but you're up here on your toes, you see how my heels are off the ground? Check this out. Just take your hands on the ground, shimmy one foot out, shimmy the other foot out just a bit, and guess what? You might find the space that you need for your Malasana Squat, so your heels can be down and your bottoms can be down. I actually have a really good friend and client at the studio. Her family is from Vietnam, and she said that they actually eat like this. Could you imagine that? Like, I'm gonna have dinner. You would never overeat. That's for darn sure. And I would eat probably pretty quickly. But it's just differences in different cultures, right? So this is a position we sit all day in chairs, and then we get home and we sit in our nice little recliners, and we never move through this full range of motion, which is what we're getting here in the Malasana Squat. Because right now my ankles are definitely stretching. I'm moving through that full range of motion with my knees. My hips have to go from extended all the way in. So you are definitely getting some mobility work here in your Malasana. Now, once you get here, if you want to intensify things a little bit, take your elbows and press them into your inner thighs. I'm not talking like use your He-Man or Superman strength, just a little gentle pressure here. You're going to feel a little bit more stretch on your inner thighs, and you're just going to feel a little bit more opening, maybe even along the back side of your pelvis and into your glutes a bit. Another thing to keep in mind when you're practicing Malasana is you try not to slouch. I'm going to turn to the side for you, so for you to be able to see it. So you want to have good posture, right? So your chest is proud, your spine is straight. If you're slouching like this, it's not great. You can't breathe well. You're kind of putting a lot of pressure here on the shins and on the toes. And if your balance is bad, you might end up on your bottom. So make sure your back stays straight. Your belly stays in, and again, your elbows just inside the inner thighs, providing a little a little bit of stretch for you right here in the inner thighs. Another really fun thing that I love to do in my Malasana Squat is make it a little bit of a twist with one arm in front of the leg, the other arm reaching up or reaching around behind you to bind like that. That way it helps to open up your chest. So again, left arm maybe in front of the left knee, so it's helping to pull that left leg back. Right hand reaching up. It actually feels really, really, really good. Or right hand reaching back and left hand reaching around the foot to help grab around the leg. Keep in mind, the spine is trying to be long the whole time. Once you get good at your Malasana, you'll be able to find that you can jump into and out of poses like Malasana, or maybe your hips will be open enough to jump into and out of crow. There's lots of fun ways to intensify this posture, but first we have to make sure that we feel comfortable in this basic pose. I like to say if you can get in here and breathe every bit as normal in this pose, then that means you have mastered the pose. So get into your Malasana. It'll help you to open up your hips. It'll help bring poses like Bird of Paradise into your wheelhouse. It'll also help you to do other inversions, arm balances as well, like Aika Pada Kundanyasana, because your hips will be open enough to have that space to have one leg in front and the other leg in back. This could also help you with some Hanumanasana or split spread. It's just really great to help build and maintain the mobility that your hips need to have a safe and healthy back and lower body. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Jennifer Dixon with Thrive Yoga and Wellness and Thrive Online. I would love to invite you to come and practice with us here in the studio if you are anywhere near Chattanooga. Thrive Yoga and Wellness is located at East Brainerd Road at 7633 East Brainerd Road. Or if you're not in Chattanooga and you would love to have access to tutorials like this or to really awesome yoga-inspired strength-building yoga flows, check us out at Thrive Online. It is thriveyogaandwellness.com/thrive-online. I can't wait to see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.